الراكعين. وقال الله عز وجل: حافظوا على الصلوات والصلاة الوسطى وقوموا لله قانتين. اللهم اجعلنا من القانتين ومن الراكعين. آمين يا رب العالمين. Respected brothers and sisters, welcome to another session or daily reminder. Today's theme, like Mufti Sahib just mentioned, hidden gems within our salah. And we started this discussion a few weeks ago regarding how we feel about salah. So there's two different parts here: how we feel and how we should feel. So the first question is a bit more personal, and it's something that we have to dig a little bit deep within ourselves to find out. I just prayed my Salatul Asr, and let me ask you, my dear respected brothers and sisters, how did you feel when performing Salah? What were your thoughts? Well, you don't have to mention the thoughts, but the line of thought. What was the quality of your prayer? How much concentration was found in that prayer? What other feelings did we have within the prayer? How did it help us from our daily lives? How did it give us that refresher of our faith? How did we connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? These are a few questions to help us give some answers. Like I mentioned, it's something personal, so you can give yourself the answer. But if anybody would like to share their answer with everybody, you may do so. But this is what I felt. It may be good, the bad you can leave out. The bad we need to deal with, inshallah, we'll deal with that. There's a few solutions that we'll have. And how to have more quality within the prayer. But how did we feel about the good part? What good feelings did we have through prayer? We just prayed Salatul Asr, right? Yes? Yes. MashaAllah, we all prayed. So, how did we feel? I'm sure we don't have that bad memories at the moment, right? 50 megabyte memory. How much memory do we have? Yeah, we can remember a couple of minutes ago what happened, inshallah. We have good memory, but we don't know how to use it. We have to learn how to use our memory. Many people, they ask, parents, have a young child, want him to become hafiz, learn the whole Quran by heart. MashaAllah, nice intention. How much does he know now? Oh, he doesn't know anything at the moment. Okay, no problem. What plan do you have for him to become a hafiz, to memorize the Quran, to connect with the Quran, to live by the Quran? Or is it just a desire? So one of the things that those of you who are serious about this, which we all may be, in the back of our mind, may just be a desire. Have a child, have children, or niece, nephews, whatever they may be. I want them to be connected with the Quran. Maybe I didn't have that opportunity, but I want that generation to have this beautiful Quran in their life, in their heart. So one of the aspects is that so how to use that memory. It's a science that you learn. What child works best with what method to memorize? And although it's a detailed subject, but one point for myself and you, my brothers and sisters, you stay far away from sin. SubhanAllah. It's a spiritual connection. Quran, memorization, your heart. And sin, filth, comes in the way, covers the capacity to memorize. But there's more technical issues. This is just on the spiritual side. Okay, coming back, we just prayed Salatul Asr, and we were talking about how we felt in that prayer. So you, brothers, can you give any answers? Calm. Thank you. You feel calm. I just came, day 406. So much traffic. Traffic time. people's focus. Someone does one wrong move, we're ready to blow the horn. We're ready to shout and scream. All a bit tense. People at work, fighting for their jobs, facing this world. That's the pattern of life. We know in London how busy things are. We're not just speaking about the roads, the markets, the shops, the financial market, what's happening in the government, what's happening in sports, what's happening in the world. What about our Muslim brothers? So much is going on. Salah, subhanallah. Disconnection from this world and a connection with Allah. This is something that I hope we can remember. Salah is a disconnection from the worldly matters, and it connects us with Allah, Rabbul Alameen. Our soul, our heart, our being is from Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah created us. Inna lillah, we belong to Allah. When someone passes away, we say this dua, right? We say this ayah. We ask Allah to make us from amongst the sabirin, but Allah describes who are the sabirin, who are the patient ones. Sometimes we go to Tesco and we wait there in the queue, and we just do what we're supposed to. Stay 2 meters away, don't come too close to the other person. When the security man lets you in, then you go in. And we think, I'm patient. Am I a patient man? Maybe. Allah knows best. And you know how much patience you do. But Allah describes some of the criteria to make, to fill, to become from amongst the sabirin. One of them, inna lillah. When a calamity befalls of any sort, a loss of life, wealth, hunger, you have fear. Subhanallah, min al-khawf. How many people have fear? And fear is not just a feeling that you have for the moment. You're feeling scared, like something's about to happen. There's an animal that's about to attack. There's a certain fear that we have at that time. We're frightened. There's another fear that we have of thoughts. We fear the loss of our property. We fear the loss of our health. I'm healthy now, I can walk to the masjid. I've seen someone with my own eyes, they're struggling to walk and cross the road and get their groceries. What if a time comes when Allah puts me in that state? And Allah protect one and all. What if I'm in that state where I can't walk to the masjid? I'm taken to hospital and I dream about praying in the masjid. So being grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But it's just that fear, speaking about the fear, all different types of fear. We fear regarding our progeny, our children. We fear about our siblings. Many people grow up with the fear of losing their parents. Oh, my parents, they're such a major part of my life. Or grandparents, or brother, sister, uncle, aunt, neighbor at times. And we think, I don't want to lose them. There's nothing wrong. But just the fear of that moment, how will I cope without? So the fear, it's all different types of fear. When we feel the fear, then we will be tested with fear, with hope. And between the two, we fly our plane of faith and our beings. Allah has given us, we have hope and fear. Never forget the mercy of Allah when we speak about fear. Nonetheless, of all of these different types of tests that we go through, what does Allah describe? Give glad tidings to those who are patient when a calamity befalls them. And a reminder for you and I, my brother and sister, this dunya, it's a dunya of test. It's part of our life, our journey with our soul. It's a testing part. It's a part where we'll be trialed. It's a part where things won't go the way that we perhaps want them to. We'll be tested. Amazing things may happen. Strange and weird things may happen at the same time. Part of life. There will be some highs. There will be some lows. There will be dark moments within our life where we have to hold on tight to the rope of Allah. Iman will be tested greatly. The Prophet ﷺ describes such a time that a person will be a believer in the morning, but how quick they will lose their faith. By evening, they will be a disbeliever. A person will be a believer by night, and by the morning, the opposite has happened. They have unbelieved. Iman will be tested. But proclaiming, so those when a calamity befalls them, knowing that this world is a world of test full. When it happens, not if, most definitely. Every single person seated here, even this young man, will feel something, oh, maybe one thing wrong in my life. Many things will be right, by the way. Many, uncountable. But the things that aren't going so right, we'll put them on the forefront and we'll spend more time with them. And they tend to take over our life. Allah mentions, give glad tidings to those who are patient when a calamity befalls them. They say and they believe this statement. Don't just say this. When any one of these situations happen, we belong to Allah. Your life is not your life. Your life is given to you by Allah. My life is from Allah. We belong to Allah. Without Allah, we're nothing. Allah created us. Allah gave us life. Allah gave us health. Allah made us the way that we are. And Allah, to whom is our return? Our return is back to Allah. So brothers, we're going a little bit floating on the train today. You guys following with the thoughts? Or is it not making any sense? You guys following? Yes? Where are we at the moment? Speaking about Sila Bain al-Abd wa Rabbi, the connection, how we feel. That's the main question that we're on. How did we feel in our prayer? How can we unlock some of the gems, some of the pearls within our salah? And what did the brother mention? Calmness. So through all of these things, salah, when our mind is, I'm connecting with my Allah who created me for the first time, you connect with the origin, with the asl, who we are from. And that's the remembrance of Allah that brings about calm and peace within us. But if our mind and heart is wandering in all other places other than salah, then we may miss the opportunity to connect with Allah and feel the calmness. And that's why many people, they may feel that they come for prayer, but the way that they came is the same way that they left. Where is the change? We should feel a different feeling, and most of the time it's a better feeling. Because when we're not in salah, we're in normal life. And like we just said, very testing. Each moment is. And now we know more. Another side. Before we were limited with what problems we can fall into. Now we have a big hole that we can fall into in our phone, not one, but many different rabbit holes that you fall into. Your brother's understanding. And you will know what those holes are. Those places where we slide and time, or whatever occupation that you find yourself in. It's dunya. Salah takes us, it's part of this life, but it connects our hearts, our souls to Allah. And that's what makes it special. And salah and any act of ibadah, it's not just for, it's time that's being utilized. Time is very difficult to utilize, to really make use of, because it's passing by. But the one way that we can make time timeless is through good actions. And Allah mentions this. وَالْبَاقِيَاتُ الصَّالِحَاتِ Allah Akbar. وَالْبَاقِيَاتُ الصَّالِحَاتِ. The good actions are everlasting when done within the correct manner, with sincerity, fulfilling the command of Allah, the way that the Prophet ﷺ has prescribed. It becomes a good action for us. عَمَلُ الصَّالِحِ. And throughout the Quran we are reminded, having faith coupled with عَمَلُ الصَّالِحِ. So in Salah, that calmness, to unlock it, is some thoughts that we have to get right, and we have to feel that within our prayer and know the difference. Now I'm in prayer. I have to try to manage my thoughts. Why am I still thinking about what I just did maybe 10 minutes ago, or what I'm about to do in the next half an hour? How can I learn to control those thoughts, manage them, and stop them, and think about what I'm saying, what I've just done? I've done takbir. Where am I standing, or who am I standing before? What am I doing fulfilling the command of Allah? What is Salah supposed to do to me? These are all key questions that we have every single Salah. We have to go through some of these thoughts to feel that peace, that tamanina, sukoon, comfort. And Allah gives it when we are searching and when we are looking out. What else do we feel in Salah? The good parts of Salah that you guys felt. The rahmah of Allah, yes. Once again, it's part of the peace, but the rahmah.
Feeling happy.
That's right, mashallah. Because when you fulfill the command of Allah, there's a sense of fulfillment, achievement. And when we look at what else you and I could have been doing, many other things. Some of them may be good, not better than Salah, because Salah at its time is the best action that we can do. There may be some other good action that you could have been doing. May have been tilawah, reciting the Quran, may have been serving your parents, reading a book, writing, many good actions that are there. But then there's also some actions that aren't rewarding, but they're also not sinful. Might want to take a little nap, have something to eat. That also can become ibadah, by the way. The normal actions. And then you have sins. And when we look at sins, what sins that they can do, once again, they are countless. You may have to go somewhere travel to sin, or now you don't even have to travel. Just by your own, you can be involved with sin. So Allah protected us from all of that. So we must think about that too. That's the mercy of Allah. That Allah took me from all of those different situations that I could possibly be in. And Allah brought me to the masjid to feel peace and sukoon, to feel the mercy of Allah. There's some part on your behalf as well that you do, some action. The tawfiq is from Allah, the ability is from Allah for sure, but there are certain choices that you also make. Listen to this one, my dear brothers. In a single day, a survey was carried out. A human being, on average, one human being will have to make 35,000 different choices in a day. We are people of choice. Humanity, we have choices. What kind of sock shall I wear? What time shall I wake up? Shall I pray? Shall I not pray? What food shall I eat? When shall I eat? How shall I eat? So many different types of decisions that we make in a single day. There are certain decisions that we have to make to be present at the masjid, to pray salah in jama'ah. Tawfiq is from Allah. It's a rahmah from Allah. So when you go through that whole process, you feel a sense of fulfilling the command of Allah. There's a peace that your heart feels. There's a happiness. There's a joy in fulfilling the command of Allah that's like no other. When you have temptation, when you have the whispers from the shaitan, and then you have the choice to obey Allah, you make the choice. You may have a fake pleasure in the disobedience of Allah, but the real pleasure, that wholesome feeling that you have, only comes through the ibadah of Allah, fulfilling the commands of Allah. And this is just a reminder, that feeling is something that you feel, and you know how that feels. And I'm sure many of you will be feeling that, especially when coming to prayer. So these are some of the points that we conclude upon today, inshallah. Just a quick recap. How do we feel in our prayer is a personal question that I want you guys to try to spend a bit of time on thinking about, and maybe writing some notes, and just making a few bullet points for yourself. What are some of the things that we should be feeling? So some of the brothers, they shared 2 points today. One was feeling calmness, and the other one was feeling the rahmah of Allah. They are both closely linked, but we described a few little differences. But we try that the next prayer, and from now on, whatever prayer we are praying, try to feel and enjoy and connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through these beautiful feelings that we should be getting through salah. It's amazing feeling. It's from Allah. Are there any other questions before we conclude for today regarding our today's topic? Anyone? Muhammad? Anything? No? Yahya? No? Anyone else? So we're going to try, yes, we're going to try to feel this in our next prayer, inshallah. We'll try to put your focus on it a little bit, and it will help us to feel more connected, inshallah. Many other things we'll be discussing. So this lesson, it happens every Wednesday, inshallah, where we discuss about salah. If there's any topics that you would like for me to cover within the prayer that you may have of concern, you can speak to me about it, inshallah. Yes, brother, you had a question?
Yeah, it was how can you bring this calmness? Because sometimes what happens, you have this worry, job, you have a problem. When you come to the salah as well, you think about what happened before a disconnection.
So, very good question. Is that how? Yeah, we want to have that feeling, want to feel that peace, that calmness. But how do we do that? I think that's a whole lengthy discussion, which we'll get into maybe next week, inshallah. So if you can just remind me next week, we'll go through some tips about how to control the thoughts within. And sometimes you're going to have this where you have like one line of thought and you start off with that, and you get a reminder for it, but then something else comes and takes that away. So how do you get back? Okay, it's pretty natural for that to happen, where we get diverted with our thoughts. We're going to speak about certain things next week, inshallah, that can help us bring that thought back where it's supposed to be. The thought of peace and calmness within our prayer. One quick one is that through what we are saying. Yeah, so that helps a lot. Like knowing the depths of what we are saying with every position. So from the takbir, through to thana, surah Fatiha, whatever surah, it's communication with Allah, so being focused with you actually speaking. And then the ruku, the sujood, what we are saying, why we are saying. So a lot of the time it's just become somewhat of a repeat routine. And the mind is just multitasks. So we want to, we'll speak about this more next week, inshallah. Please remind me if I do at the beginning of next week, inshallah. Any other questions? Thank you very much for staying back, inshallah. Keep us in your du'as. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.